Good evening and welcome to the show. I'm Keith Woodhouse. This is the WOT Show on Radio Woking. My guest in the studio this evening is Fred Irwin, and he's actually sound checking in the other studio at the moment, so we'll be speaking to him in a minute as soon as he's done that, and he'll be playing live for us throughout the show. Starting off there with Avondale 45 and a track that I would never ever get sick of. It's about a letter bomb in Lee Park. Let me see. Lee Park with a letter bomb. How prepared can you get? Not much more prepared than me. This is, where are we? Civilized Tears. Civilized Tears. And a track called, hang on, it's all gone wrong. Civilized Tears and a track called Stars. fabulous. Civilised Tears and a track called Stars. That's my old mate Tim Bennett and his lovely wife Brandy, who now live out in the woods somewhere in America. They bought this, I don't know what it was, piece of land I suppose, in the middle of nowhere, and it had no running water, no electricity, no nothing, but they seem to be doing all right. I haven't spoken to him for quite a while now, so hopefully things are still going well up in the Appalachian Mountains or wherever it is. I just like to make these things up. Geographically challenged as I am, I know that the Appalachian Mountains are in the USA. One of my favourite new bands at the moment is the two-man Travelling Medicine Show, and they've got another EP out. I keep getting EPs from them. They're absolutely fantastic, and I still haven't had a chance to see them because every time they seem to be playing somewhere, they're sort of Dorset way, I think, because every time I'm down that way I see posters for them, but never at a time when I'm there. So hopefully one day they will come this way and I will get the chance to see them. But this is, well, it's rather an appropriate track really for me. It's called Raise My Glass.
She would never cry. Just watching I become unbreakable.
two-man travelling medicine show and Raise My Glass, and I would think that is absolutely tremendous playing that live. And I know it's wrong, but every time I hear a banjo I do tend to think of the scene from Deliverance, where you get the boy sitting out on the veranda and playing his banjo, and they do their song Dueling Banjos, really. So yeah, I think one of them's a guitar, so how is it Dueling Banjos? I may have that wrong, but I think one's a guitar and one's a banjo. But still, never mind. I don't suppose it'd be right, but it dueling guitar and banjo, it just wouldn't rhyme. Well, not rhyme, what do you call it, when it sinks along? I've dug a hole too deep again. I'm trying to get too philosophical. But as usual on tonight's show, we've got a whole eclectic mix of music. So we started off with some punk there, and from Avondale 45, then the two-man travelling medicine show, and they're bleeders and their banjos. And this is a track from El Tel, which again is very, very different. I do love things that just are not down the normal line, you know, that just I don't know, push the boundaries, I suppose you could call it. This is a track called Bleeders.
Strengths. Wind your neck in, a face like the back of a bus, like a bulldog chewing a wasp. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can do. Said nothing. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Wind your neck in, I start killing me. Eat up all your greens. Say you're Taylor. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Nothing. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Nothing. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Nothing. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Trousers made of fox, carrying 700 weight of something horrid in a box, with mittens made from kittens just to keep his fingers warm, and a photograph of God to keep him from harm. He wasn't looking for trouble, he was well equipped with his psychosis and a heavy stick. He said goodbye to his family, behind no friends, picked up his foul burden and he clambered over the fence. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Nothing. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Bleeders are the problem, they are getting in the way. Know your strengths.
El Tel recorded live there with a track called Bleeders. You're listening to Keith Woodhouse. This is the Watch Show on Radio Woking, and I had the pleasure of comparing their album launch the other week in Guildford. And in fact, they did 3 album launches, and I know the one that I was at was sold out. It was a very unusual gig for me, actually, because all the audience was seated. It was like standing in front of a jury. But it went really, really well, and if you ever get the chance to see them, they were supported by the Dirty Carols. You ever get a chance to see El Tel or the Dirty Carols, or El Tel and the Dirty Carols, because they often play together, then I would strongly recommend it and nip along and seeing them. Fuzzwalker were guests of mine must have been a year or so, maybe even more now. I must have a word, see if we can get them back in the studio. And they played this particular track, and it is a favourite of mine. This is Continental Breakfast from Fuzzwalker. Continental Breakfast from Fuzzwalker. You're listening to Keith Woodhouse. This is the WOT Show on Radio Woking. My guest is Fred Irwin.
Hello.
Hello, Fred. This is the first time we've met, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yeah. Let me turn you down a bit there because I've just gone deaf in one ear. There we go. Oh, and as
close,
per
he said.
usual, I have an error message on my... got an error message on my stick there. It's Oz and the Crids again. I think it went wrong last time I tried to play them, but still, never mind.
That must be a bad omen.
Yeah. No, there's always something goes wrong. Always something. I mean, it's been a disaster since I started, really, playing the wrong songs. I've got the wrong songs in there and everything, so it doesn't matter. We will struggle through. But, Fred, you're a singer-songwriter from Basingstoke, yeah?
I am indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm more over towards Farnborough way, but spend a lot of time in Basingstoke gigging lately. It's almost become a second home.
Oh, whereabouts in Farnborough are you?
Pretty much Farnborough north side as you start getting towards Frimley.
Right.
Yeah, straddling the border.
Yeah. So you find you get more gigs over Basingstoke than you do?
Yeah, it's certainly been the case lately. With the connection with that via promotions, they've done quite a bit for me over this way. Obviously, the Be Love Festival, a couple of years running as well. So, yeah, really enjoying myself over there.
Yeah, I'm just about getting the hang of it now. That it is Be Love. I've been calling it Be Live for years.
Yeah, it was Basingstoke Live before, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
I came across just after the switch, so I didn't have to learn anything, which was great.
And then they had that very clever sort of like logo.
Yeah.
And it was a heart, so I didn't know that they changed the heart from an O, not an I. So
yeah, a whole big rebrand.
How was I to know? But it doesn't take a lot to confuse me. So. Do you only play solo? Because I get a lot of solo people coming and say, "Oh, I play with a band as well."
I'm pretty much just solo. There's a couple of tracks on my first album that I sort of got some friends in to do sort of full band instrumentation. We maybe played them once live together at the launch night, and then that's it on my own since.
Really?
So, yeah, 99.9% of shows I've played, it's just been me. Maybe get a cajon in there, but. A lot of people have said to me, Fred, it'd be great to see you play these songs with a full band. Maybe it will come eventually. Maybe Be Love would have been the ideal opportunity to start experimenting with that. But yeah, I'm I'm not great at keeping time for one. So
oh, you're not?
No, I'm awful. I think I'll probably fluctuate between sort of two different BPMs, about 10 or 20 apart throughout any given song, which. Will frustrate any drummer I want to tempt on board. So.
Yeah, I actually knew a drummer in a band that couldn't keep time at all, and he used a click track all the time. He
that's
always
the
had
drummer.
headphones
There's
on.
no excuse.
Yeah, that's right. And, he had it sort of like playing in his head, so as, he wouldn't go wrong. But yeah, I'm not going to name any names, obviously.
No, best not.
Because he could be rich now and could afford solicitors and be able to sue me. But you know Fuzzwalker.
Cracking choice. What a band.
Yeah, how spooky was that I was playing that as you walked in?
Yeah, just you bring me through. It's almost like you were welcoming me.
Yes.
You looked up my favourites.
Yeah. I decided, what I was going to play, and then I did see a picture of you and Billy from the band on Facebook.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, and I thought,
Guilty by association.
Definitely put that in. And I was going to put in Oz and the Crids, because they're going to be playing at a gig that I'm comparing in a couple of weeks' time down at the suburb stock, which I believe is 2 weeks on Saturday, and it's an all-dayer. There's lots of bands on. What I'll do is I will have a look and see what's what on there, and see what the lineup is and one thing and another. But this is Billy Liberator, who I've just booked for the show as well. I think I've booked him for about September time. So
Sweet.
I've just gone mad on booking at the moment because I suddenly found I had no one in the diary, and you've come at very short notice, haven't you? We'd never met, and then you got the call earlier on in the week.
It was literally on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And, I'm free. That worked
and
out.
there it is. It worked out absolutely great. But now I'm booked through to about November, so I've got my act together again. It just gets that way, that I didn't realise that I hadn't got anyone in the diary at all. So anyway, we've got it sorted now. And this is Billy Liberator and a track called Just Be.
There is a town where I am known, a town I have always called home, twinned with my affection and my restlessness. 1,000 points of light tell you you're not alone, an empty face of dispassionate control, the future on parade, the past on parole, like a field hand waiting on the midday relief.
tearing down the wilderness, bearing your soul. So if you can embrace where you come from, you can face up to the great unknown. Just be. A young boy travels down that old lie road, wanders in or at each passing episode. A better place to be, his father has the wheel. A place to take a chance on the future that we wrote. So if you can embrace where you come from, you can face up to the great unknown. Just be. All my life, all my days, companions of the heart, keepers of the soul, weeping for joy at the wealth we bankroll. Denim-clad troubadours waiting for a midday reprieve, waiting on a glimpse of the illusion that we stole. So if you can embrace where you come from, you can face up to the great unknown. Just be. Just be.
Billy Liberator, and a track called, I've lost it, Just Be. We were talking through that, weren't we? So it was rather rude that we didn't hear it. And I've just had my instructions to say, don't read out the times tonight. So perhaps the timings are going to be a little different. Am I allowed to read out the names of the bands that are playing? That's what I want to know. So you see, people don't trust me.
I'm intrigued. Give me artists.
Yeah, exactly. I get in front of a microphone and they go, boom, don't do it. And that's the beauty of Facebook, you see, that they can get through and say to me, no, don't do it. So at least I know one of the organisers is listening. He may not be there. He may be in his car coming over here, dragging me off air. Don't you say anything. Well, it's only 2 weeks' time, so they must have worked something out. But it doesn't really matter anyway, because I always get it wrong. So it's going to be a miracle if I don't go through without getting at least one band's name wrong. But it's a regular thing, you know, that I do. So this is why I have these notes. Right? But I should bring a pen and cross off the last one so I know where I are. But
Get a ruler, start moving it down as you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see, you seem like an organised type of person. You could actually become my PA, right?
I'm glad I can give the impression.
Follow me round, right? And then drag the ruler down the page. I have got absolutely no idea where they are. I was going to play the Sherlocks, but I can't play them in this part, and they've suddenly appeared on the second track. And that was why it all went a little bit wrong at the beginning. And I suddenly thought, I can't play them, not on Facebook. I'm not allowed. So maybe I'll be able to flick it backwards and forwards and find them a bit later. But I think we're living in a dream world if you think that I'm going to be able to do anything like that. But do you feel that is what puts you off playing in the band? Just the not being able to keep time?
I've always... I can see the benefits of it because I remember playing in a covers band in college, and like I said, I had the night of my life when I launched the first release and got the people I'd recorded that within. But I also know that 9 out of 10 times, something like this, where I take it on last minute and trying to coordinate all that, I can just about manage to keep myself organised.
Yeah.
Trying to coordinate a 3, 4, 5 piece, make sure that your bassist and your drummer can make it and that they remember everything. I'm sure there's people professional enough out there, but then I'd feel like I was dragging them down, and it's like it's just a difficult balance to find. I've just always felt more comfortable, like, right, me and my guitar case, I can get about and take on anything, and I'd like to maybe layer that up one day, but it's never been too pressing for me.
I know exactly what you're saying there, because this is the reason why I went for a solo artist, on short notice. There's no way that I'd be able to get a band together. I'm asking them 6 weeks in advance, and then 3 days before they say, "Oh, we can't make it." So and so's got to work. They've been in the diary for 6 weeks.
Exactly.
Right.
I know when I'm free, and if I mess anything up or double book myself, which I like to think I don't do, but if I do, I can only blame myself.
Yeah.
Whereas with a band, there's
See, that's the difference between me and you. I know we've only just met, but I blame other people. But there's no way I'm taking the blame for all of this. If something goes wrong on this desk, then it's down to someone who's messed about with it previously. Right? They pressed the wrong button and left it in sync or something like that. But no, nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me whatsoever. But we'll have another song, and we seem to have a bit of a theme going again. Well, it has a theme every week, isn't it? We've already had Raise Your Glass. Now this is Drinking Song from the Scrutineers.
I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. Sitting down with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I can see our feet sinking with every drop we're drinking, and the world seems to be rising, but that beer's so appetizing. Me and my friends out on top of the world. As they play another round, I see that I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. Sinking down with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. We all know what we are thinking. We don't need to think, we're drinking. Tequila's so appetizing. Now we are scrutinizing. Money slipping through our fingers, and the taste of whiskey lingers. Time to taste tandoori kitchen, said the whispering of the pigeon. Me and my friend out on top of the world. As they play another round, I see that I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again. Sitting down with my friends. I never want to summer up again. I'm in love with my friends. I never want to summer up again.
Drinking Song from the Scrutineers. And that was recorded a little bit low, so I better turn that back down, otherwise it's all going to blast out. You're listening to Keith Woodhouse. This is the Watch Show on Radio Woking. My guest is Fred Irwin, who has come all the way from Frimley Green.
Yeah.
Lovely Frimley Green.
Real billing.
Yes.
Let's digress into Farnborough.
Yeah, there's two pubs in Frimley Green, isn't there?
And they're mighty good pubs, I must say.
Are they?
Yeah.
I think I went skittling in one of them.
Oh.
They laid out a skittle alley because you've got the rose and thistle.
That's it.
And then the other one up
And
the
the
road,
wheat sheaf a bit further up.
And yes, I think they put in some temporary skittle alley in there. This was many, many years ago, and I played skittles like as if I'd just come off the farm.
I like the sound of that.
I've done my day's labour, and I wandered in with my scythe. And I played skittles, the old wooden skittles, clattering everywhere. Well, they didn't clatter everywhere with me because I'm not very good.
You missed.
I do, yeah. When I go bowling, the only thing I hit is that gutter, right? I love playing when children are there because you get the barriers up, right, and it can't go down the side. So that's when I really enjoy it. And I have been known to get out that thing that's like someone's Zimmer frame, and you put it up, and then you lift the ball onto it, and then you roll it down it, and
the
away
guide.
it goes. Yeah, that's
the
it.
Guide slide.
And with the buffers up as well, I'm bound to hit something. Not even I can slide down the side and not get anything. But I was talking about Suburb Stock, which is going to happen in 2 weeks' time, and it is celebrating 40 years of the members, or 40 years of Sound of the Suburbs, I believe. And I may have that wrong. I shouldn't really start these things, should I, before actually checking what it is. But let me go through the bands that are playing. Obviously, the members are going to be playing, and their guests will be the Piranha 4. Remember the Piranhas? Well, they're now the Piranha 4. They had the big hit Tom Hark. Plague UK are going to be playing. Discar Assassins are going to be playing. Stone Heroes are going to be playing. And Oz and the Crids and Public Service Announcement have just been added. I don't know that band. Out of all of them, I don't know them. So it's probably the only name that I'm going to get right on the day. But do you find that when you play gigs, you get sort of like shoehorned into acoustic gigs, or do you get some support slots where you're supporting bands?
Yeah, I find myself with a bit of identity crisis in the whole sort of folk punk thing that I think I'm doing, in that both camps, folk and punk respectively, occasionally you're thinking, nah, not really, mate.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've played some acoustic gigs where everyone there's really soft, laid back, beautiful melodic acoustic guitar sets, and then there's me going on just strumming hard and, you know, dropping the P's and Q's and everything, and
yeah.
And then, you know, there's metal shows that I've been invited to sort of open the bill for, because I'm like, look, I know I've got an acoustic guitar, but I'll try keep up, trust me.
Yeah.
So I think they're often the more fun ones.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm getting to know more and more sort of acts, of a similar style. Like playing a lot more gigs with the likes of Scott Freeman lately, who an energetic, pumped up acoustic act where I feel a bit more at home.
Yeah.
Especially, like you say, if I get shoehorned in the middle of a set and I'm bookended by some really sweet, melodic, chilled out Sunday stuff, I mean, I love it, but it's not me.
No.
And so I can end up being the one where people are like, oh, where's he come from?
Yeah.
You know, whether that's positive or not. But, yeah.
Because as soon as someone sees you walk in with an acoustic guitar, that's the first thing they think, isn't it? That you're going to be folky and...
Exactly. They tend to either expect Ed Sheeran covers. I've never owned a loop pedal in my life. Love what he does, but not for me. Or Wonderwall. And,
yes.
You know, to be fair, I'm more influenced by Oasis than Sheeran. But yeah, it's like you say, you walk into a place and people think, oh, this will be nice and chilled. And 9 times out of 10, I'll give them a bit of a kick up there.
It's a bit like my mate Stevie Simpson. And he walks in and pulls out a mandolin, you know, and
nice.
he's one bloke, one mandolin, and he gets out there, and I've never seen anyone hit an instrument so hard. He smashes it, bang, and he's absolutely brilliant. He's got about 4 or 5 albums out, and every single album is absolutely brilliant. I recommend, if you've never heard Stevie, One Bloke, One Mandolin, that you check him out. He's certainly on Facebook and YouTube and things like that. And I notice I'm getting messages, well, lots of messages now, from the organisers of Suburb Stock. So I may have done something wrong. I think what I better do is to play another song.
And hide.
And yeah, find out what I've done. This is Crying Out Loud. Had a track called... Oh, I've lost my place again. A track called Strange One.
Tough. Say you need me, want to me any harm. 5 minutes later, then you're breaking my arm. Are you having fun with your strange one? Living luxury that you can't afford. Spend my money and you tell me you're bored. Run me down in front of your best friend. Come back and tell me that it's only pretend. When all is said and done, you're just a strange one. You're something different, well I can't explain. You're something special, do it again, you're a strange one. Mama's crazy, she sleeps on the floor. Daddy left her many years before. Sister's laying everyone she can. I'm not sure that your brother's a man. He ain't no only son, he's just a strange one. You're something different, baby, I can't explain. You're something special. Say it again, you're a strange one. Waiting for my man. $26 in my hand. Living luxury that you can't afford. Spend my money, then you tell me you're bored. Run me down in front of your best friend. Come back and tell me that it's only pretend. When all is said and done, you're just a strange one. Thank you very much.
Crying Out Loud. And Strange One.
Mr. Billy Hill.
Oh, he's still going there. And, yeah, they're going to get me bounced off Facebook, aren't they? You know, sticking Velvet Underground in the middle there. They're bound to pick that up, and then I'm going to get the blame again. I'll have Steve Zuckerberg on my case. Just while I think of it, I've missed the band off because they're not on the Facebook page. Gripperly 3 are going to be playing. Absolutely excellent band they are. Really, really great band. In fact, all the bands that I know, and I don't know public service announcement, and to get on a bill like that, they are going to have to be good. So there's some great bands there. That's going to be happening at Suburbs at the Holwood on the 27th. So I've not done anything wrong, but I won't read out the times.
Strict instructions there.
Yes, I have strict instructions not to read out the times. Anyway, we have time for one more track before news time. It's from a band called the Racketeers, who are a great band. They came into the studio once, but there's so many of them. I think there was about 9 of them came into the studio that it's very difficult to get them all together, and they probably had such a bad time they don't want to come back anyway. which really is the bottom line, that they say, I'm not going back there again. Whoa. But they're down in the Portsmouth area, so if you get the chance to go and see them, believe me, they are fantastic live. I saw them a few years ago at the Undercover Festival down in Margate, and they were tremendous, absolutely great. Anyway, we're going to play this, then we're going to have to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook, but you can still listen. You can listen at www.radiowoking.co.uk, or if you've got one of those Alexa things, you say, Alexa, play Radio Woking. If you've got a Sonos machine, you can find it on there. If you've got the TuneIn app, you can find it on there. If you've got Virgin Media, you can find us on the radio apps there. Listen through your television and sound system, or you can download the free Radio Woking app, which is available on Android and iOS. And if that's not enough for you, we got music as well.
Somebody help me please to take me out of the rain. Now it's so hard to please for me to take a stray. Now if you look at me, well you know how I feel. Give me shelter please, this life of mine should ease. And all I want to know, somebody help me please to take me out of the rain. Now it's so hard to please for me to take a stray. Now if you look at me, well you know how I feel. Give me shelter please, but this life of mine should ease. I know that need to know,
Just time for a little bit of the Racketeers there. As I say, you can still listen on the web, on the app, on your Alexa system, all sorts of places you can hear us, on your Virgin Media. I'm going to have to say goodbye, though, to Facebook, just to stay legal. And after the break, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Space Oddity.